We feel their pain. The truth is out. The case is closed. But our search for justice never slows.
Hey everyone, happy Thursday. I had to think for a minute. It feels like Friday because tomorrow we don't have any students. We have meetings all day, which is going to be very tiring, but it'll be nice to just have time to talk with my colleagues and do some planning and just kind of enjoy an early long weekend, because Monday, even though it appears that it's going to be a washout here in upstate New York, we don't work on Monday. So it should be a good time. So that is why the poll question today is, are you going to be affected by the weekend nor'easter? Because it's on its way. And it looks like, initially it looked like the Carolinas were going to get hit with a lot of rain, but now it appears to be like the mid-Atlantic is going to get hit. So Boston, Philly, those areas. So hopefully if you are in that path, you all will be safe. So today we are going to do updates in the Marcy trial of the 3 correctional officers who stand long sentences, life in prison, for the beating death of Robert Brooks, who was a inmate at Marcy Correctional. Taylor Schabusiness was in court. So if you're unaware of who Taylor Schabusiness is, she is psychotic. She has attacked her lawyer several times, and she is currently being charged with a prison assault. She attacked someone in prison, which that is what she does. She was convicted of killing her then boyfriend. It was pretty graphic. I'm not going to go into details, but feel free to Google Taylor Schabusiness and you'll see a lot about her. And then we are going to get to the family spoke out. One of the families spoke out about the 2 girls that were subway surfing, ages 12 and 13, who were found dead on top of a J train in New York City. And then I have a few other stories we're going to talk about. One of them is actually local to me. A cold case has been solved after 61 years. 61 years. I had not heard of the case, so I think I'm going to even maybe do a deep dive into it because it's incredible. Absolutely incredible. They actually exhumed the body of this man, and through DNA, they were able to connect him to this woman's murder. DNA is just fascinating. So thanks for being here. I did see Evil Queen say that she was going to have to catch up on the replay. Opal, thanks for being here. Nanny, good to see you. Marie, watching on my TV. Speaking of TV, so some of y'all know, if you were in Sinner's Chat yesterday, I had said I spent way too much money on Amazon Prime deals. And so I ordered a TV because my cats broke mine, and a new laptop because my laptop has been telling me that it has low disk space. It can't do any updates. So I'm like, all right, let me look for the TV. So I found a TV. It was $170. And I'm like, okay, it's decent price. Well, it was a 50-inch TV. So I get home from work and I see this huge box on my porch. Oh, thanks, Sinner. I see this big box on my porch and I was like, holy shit, that TV is huge. For some reason, I'm looking at the TV I have now and I'm measuring. I'm like, okay, well, 50 inches isn't that much bigger than my TV now. Oh, it is. It is. And then tucked behind the TV was my new laptop. So that is getting set up right now, but I'm so excited to have more space. My current laptop only has 8 megabytes of RAM, which isn't very much, and like 230 gigs of memory, whereas this new one has 32 megabytes of RAM and 1 terabyte of memory. So I am excited. So that is getting set up now. The TV is going to have to wait till the weekend. I told my dad I'm probably going to have to wall mount it because the TV stand I have isn't big enough. But it was a good deal. So if you're looking for a TV and it was a great deal. Even the computer was a little more than what I wanted to spend, but it'll last me for years. So the one I have now, I've had 5 years, 5 or 6 years. It's been a while. So anyways, enough about my purchases. And thank you for sending super chats. I just did that for fun because I see other people do goals and I'm like, I'm just going to do it for fun. I don't expect it. But like I said yesterday, I probably should have grifted a little harder for a new TV and a laptop. I could have maybe had my subs pay for it. I'm just kidding. I have the money. Let's see. So anyways, Marie made me think about my TV. I'm so excited. And I figure I'll use it for my live streams too. So I'll have, the TV screen with chat and everything, and then my laptop for other stuff. Pretty neat. Twist, thanks for being here. Truth Seeker, how are you? I thought about you the other day. I saw your short about the wedding that you were going to. That made me so sad. So I hope when you got there, things were good and you had a great time. I think it was a wedding you were going to. But anyways, I hope that things worked out. So again, Sinner, thank you so much. Hashtag goals. Hope everyone is well. I am well because no students tomorrow. But I am exhausted. I never yawn at work, ever. This week, yesterday I was yawning. Today I started yawning. I'm like, what is happening? What is happening? Yeah, I am a math teacher. Yep, sure am. I was measuring and yeah, Nanny, my TV I actually bought when I bought this house, and the cats have never knocked it over, ever. But I have a new, a somewhat new cat named Patty, who is crazy. She races around like a banshee, and I think she's the one who did it. Because she'll jump on the TV stand to get up on the counter in the kitchen. It's just, she's a mess. Oh, True Seeker, was it? It was hard. Well, I'm glad you made it through, and kudos to you for having the strength to go, because I know it couldn't have been easy. All right, so we are going to get started. I think tomorrow I'm going to go live on my second channel, not really to talk about drama, but maybe just to talk about whatever. Maybe we can talk about TVs and Prime deals, which the Prime deals I thought were supposed to end at midnight yesterday, but my dad was like, he's like, what kind of laptop did you get? Because he's looking for a new one. So I sent him the link, and it was, the Prime deals are still working. So if you're interested, hit me up. I'll send you the link. All right. So first thing we're going to do is look at a short clip about Taylor Schabusiness. As I said at the start of this live, she is crazy. And today, for her court appearance, she was shackled to, it's not really I don't want to say a gurney, but she was shackled to a chair, like restrained. So she was not able to move any parts of her body during the hearing, and her lawyer is arguing that she not be restrained, that he has a good relationship with her. But when you see her face when he says that, I'm not so sure. Hey, lunatic, how are you?
We have breaking news to share with you now out of Wisconsin in the case against defendant Taylor Schabusiness. She's the infamous inmate who's known for her violent...
Oh, and I totally forgot. I miss Nanny Sharon's. Sorry, I was looking at my phone and I was like, wait, I forgot to thank you. I appreciate that the flowers. And again, the goal is just for fun. No one needs to send me anything, but I do appreciate it. And the foster kittens are also going to appreciate it because I have been treat training the mommy who is still, every time she sniffs my hand, it's like she's just disgusted with me. Like, just her face is like, ugh, humans. But we're treat training, so those super chats will definitely come in handy. Okay.
Attacks. Some of them we've seen in the courtroom. She is a convicted killer, and she was set to be in court today for a motions hearing over a case where she allegedly attacked a prison guard and a prison nurse. And the motions hearing was going to be regarding whether she would be shackled during the upcoming trial. But in somewhat of a surprise move, we're getting word that this case has just been disposed of. That's right. Taylor Schabusiness has pleaded no contest, and there's been an amendment to the charges. It's been amended to disorderly conduct. So she pleaded no contest to disorderly conduct. The judge...
And she is serving a life sentence. Wisconsin does not have the death penalty, so she's in for life. But she is dangerous. I mean, like I said, I'm not going to get into details, but if you're interested in what she did, the details, Google her. She did kill her. She killed her then boyfriend, and it was pretty disgusting.
Accepted that plea, and her sentencing is set for a month from now. It's set for a little over a month. I'm getting word it's been set for December the 1st. Now, we are waiting to bring you the video footage from this hearing. So we have it filmed. We're standing by for this to come into our system. Then we're going to play it for you. It was a pretty quick hearing, but we understand December the 1st will be the date that the sentence is imposed, as she's pleaded no contest to disorderly conduct. All right, no trial for Ms. Schabusiness. Wow, let's bring in our legal analyst guest to get his reaction.
Which her lawyer had argued that she be unrestrained for her trial. He must have somehow, or maybe she decided. I mean, what's the point of going through a trial? You're in prison for life anyways. Like, but she somehow, something needs to give, because the fact that she's attacking staff, and I mean, she needs more than I think prison can give her, to be honest.
Retired district attorney and practicing criminal defense attorney in the private sector, Matt Mangino, with us. Matt, what do you think? We thought this was going to be a battle over the shackles, and we got a little bit of a plea here, a no contest plea, but a plea nonetheless. Your thoughts?
Well, yes, I mean, I can see a plea in this situation. She has life without parole. She's a very dangerous person. We saw her act out in court.
So she was like in, I guess I think of like the hospital chairs that they kind of wheel people around in. But she was just not able to move at all. And I think that's the safest for everybody involved. I mean, during her trial, they had a spit mask over her because she was spitting. It reminds me of, what was it? Silence of the Lambs with Hannibal Lecter. That's who she reminds me of.
I know that she's acting out in prison, and this is going to continue. And this is one of the questions, Julie, about the death penalty. What do you do with an individual who is just going to, for the rest of their life, well incarcerated, attack people, do harmful things to people? You know, she committed a very heinous crime.
Heinous. That's a good word. I was trying to think of a good word and I couldn't think of it. Heinous. And I just looked. I knew she was in her 20s. She is 28. So say she lives to like 70. That's another 50 years or 40 years that people are going to have to deal with her and her violence. I mean, maybe she'll calm down with age, but I don't believe she will.
To begin with, where does this end? And she has life without parole, but she's going to continue to act out throughout her time while she's in prison.
Yes, that's a great point, Matt, because we hear the expression that someone is a menace to society, and this woman definitely was while she was out walking free in society. Now she's a menace in the prison system. She really is. She's a problem. She's a danger to the guards, fellow inmates, her lawyers when they encounter her. She's a problem. And you're right, this is not a state that has the death penalty. Wisconsin doesn't have it. It wasn't on the table. As you noted, she's locked up for life. But, a danger in lockup. I mean, she really is. And so I guess in the grand scheme of things, these charges wouldn't have changed anything for her situation. So perhaps everyone thought this is just better to dispose of this case, get her back in a place where we can continue to monitor her and not keep transporting her to court to fight this. So here we have it set for December the 1st, and we're going to work to get this video in so you can see her in the.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it there. I'm not really concerned with the sentencing of Taylor. I mean, she's in for life. Her sentence, isn't going to change her getting out. But it reminded me of a story that I saw today in Texas. So we're going to kind of take a little detour before we get to the updates in the Marcy death trial. I had seen this headline on Google News, and I was like, let me read through this. And I found this very interesting. So Texas court blocks execution of death row inmate Roberson. Roberson was scheduled to be executed October 16th after being convicted of capital murder in 2003 for the death of his 2-year-old daughter, Nikki. So, interest was piqued, and I'm like, well, how come? So there's a photo of him. Oh, it looks like he's got black eyes. So Texas's highest criminal court on Thursday blocked Roberson's execution a week before it was set to take place, setting his case back to trial court. Roberson was convicted of capital murder in 2003 for the death of his 2-year-old daughter, Nikki, who was diagnosed with shaken baby syndrome. He has maintained his innocence over more than 20 years on death row, with his attorneys arguing that the science behind Nikki's shaken baby diagnosis no longer held up. He was scheduled to be executed on October 16th, which would have made him the first person in U.S. history put to death in a shaken baby syndrome case. After previously denying his recent appeals, largely on procedural grounds, a 5-4 majority of the All-Republican Court of Criminal Appeals granted Roberson's request for a stay of execution under Texas's groundbreaking 2013 junk science law, which provides for a second look when the science driving a conviction that has since been debunked. The law has never been successfully used to secure a new trial for a death row inmate, though Roberson could be the first if the trial court in Anderson County recommends that the evidence warrants one, and the high court agrees. I just found that, because then we think, when I read that, I thought about the Harrows, right? Jake Harrow nearly killed his daughter, and she is now living a very difficult life. He got 6 months. Granted, she didn't die, but the injuries were so horrible. He should have been charged with attempted murder, to be honest. And so here, shaken baby syndrome, I don't know. Well, they're saying in U.S. history to be put to death for that. So I wonder what the average sentence is for this. I'm going to Google it. What is the average sentence for... somebody must have looked it up because it was the second thing on the list. Average sentence. Okay, well, according to Google, the average sentence for a shaken baby syndrome conviction is difficult to determine because the crime is prosecuted under different charges depending on the outcome for the child. If the baby dies, the defendant could face murder charges leading to decades in prison or even the death penalty. If the baby survives, the charges may be less severe, but still carry significant prison time. Okay, so it says the charges, if the baby dies, the charges become murder or manslaughter. Oh, and they have the case study. In Texas, a man was sentenced to 50 years. Okay, so that was for abuse and murder. So here, this guy murdered a 2-month-old baby in child abuse, 50 years. This guy, shaken baby syndrome, was sentenced to death. I might have to look into his case because it's just very interesting to me. I agree, Lunatic. Her outcome was so severe. True Seeker, I have 3. The mom and 2 of the kittens from spring 2024. So I've had them a year and a half now. And there's just, people want kittens. So hopefully, they'll find their forever home at one point. But right now they are living it up in my kitten room. All right, so then it goes on to say, in its order, the Court of Criminal Appeals cited its decision last year to overturn the shaken baby conviction of Dallas County man Andrew Rourke based on the evolving medical research on shaken baby diagnosis. The court exonerated Rourke in a case Roberson's attorneys called, quote, materially indistinguishable from that of their client, a week before rejecting Roberson's appeal on procedural grounds. Interesting. That's the insight we have today. There were enough members of the court who are troubled by the inconsistency between granting relief under the junk science law to Andrew Rourke, but then denying it a week later to Robert Roberson. Gretchen Sween, Roberson's attorney, said in a press conference Thursday. Rourke changed the legal landscape in Texas and should mean relief for Robert. The Court of Criminal Appeals did not decide on the merits of Roberson's appeals, instead directing the trial court to consider whether he should be granted a new trial in light of the Rourke decision. The court dismissed on procedural grounds Roberson's other appeals, claiming judicial misconduct in his trial and his actual innocence. There is a delicate balance and tension in our criminal justice system between the finality of judgment and its accuracy based on our ever-advancing scientific understanding. Court of Criminal Appeals Judge Burt Richardson wrote in a concurring opinion. A death sentence is clearly final, and once carried out, hindsight is useless. In most recent appeals, Roberson's attorneys presented fresh medical and expert opinions that concluded Nikki died of natural and accidental causes, echoing forensic input presented in his earlier filings. Experts found that Nikki had undiagnosed chronic pneumonia and was prescribed medications no longer given to toddlers her age. Those medications suppressed her breathing, which led to brain swelling, according to those experts. Her condition devolved into sepsis, causing a bleeding disorder that made her bruise easily. None of these circumstances were identified or even considered, let alone excluded, in assessing her condition. Roberson's attorney wrote, adding that the discredited and unreliable forensic science underpinning his conviction could only mean one thing. There was no homicide, only the tragic death of his very ill little girl. In a statement Thursday, Sween said she was confident that an objective review of the science and medical evidence will show there was no crime. Robert adored Nikki, whose death was a tragedy, a horror compounded by Robert's wrongful conviction that devastated his whole family. Okay, this is a much longer article than I thought. Okay, so I'm going to share if anyone is interested in reading more. I just found it fascinating that, this man has been in prison for 22 years and he's maintained his innocence the whole time. And now it's possible that he may get a new trial under the junk science law in Texas. Oh, thanks, Curious. I appreciate that. I don't see any picture. But thank you so much for that. The kitties are going to get lots of treats. And thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Okay, so we are going to move to updates in the Marcy trial of the 3 correctional officers who, who are facing life in prison for the death of Robert Brooks. Okay. Hey, Team Britt, what's going on? I hope you're well. I'm so glad you were able to make it today. So 7 hours ago, witness Dr. Andrea Martin is questioned by the prosecution. Dr. Andrea Martin is brought in as the first witness of the day and is first questioned by the prosecution. She works in emergency medicine at the Wynn Hospital in Utica. The prosecution asks her about December 7th from the assault by the inmates at 1 p.m. at Wynn Hospital when she treated him. They asked her if she treated Robert Brooks, and she says yes. She says he came in with a report of him being hit with a padlock to the right eye and left forearm. He was pleasant, respectful, knew where he was, alert, and oriented. Prosecution asks her, who accompanied him? She says the officers. Prosecution asks, is that typical? She says yes. Prosecution asks, what did you do for treatment? She says she did CT scans, chest x-ray, and forearm x-ray as well. She also performed a neurological examination as well to see if he had a brain bleed, fractures, etc. The results were benign and had no findings. There were no fractures or broken bones, brain bleeds, or broken skull. He was feeling better afterward, and she discharged him. Prosecution asks, did he speak to you? She says yes. Prosecution asks, was he impaired in his speech or his walk? She says no. The prosecution ended their questioning with the doctor. Okay, so I'm guessing... Oh, okay, here we go. So here's the cross-examination. So Dr. Andrea Martin is now cross-examined by the defense lawyers. Kingsley's lawyer asks her if Brooke was complaining of nausea, and she said she thinks she remembers him not complaining of nausea, but she would need to look at the report to be sure. The lawyer then asks her if he complains of shortness of breath or chest pain. She says no. He asks her if his nose injury from the altercation with the inmate prior to arriving at Marcy could cause obstruction of breathing. She says it could, but Brooks' injury was very slight. Kingsley's lawyer ends their questioning with her. Gallagher's lawyer now steps up to ask the doctor questions. He only asks her if a concussion can show up in the scan that she performed, and she said no. It would have to be a clinical diagnosis. He steps down. Kiefer's lawyer now steps up for questioning. He asks, could swelling distort CT scans? She says no. She specifies that there was no fracture to Brooks's face. He then asks her what an outbound automated assistant is that is listed in his chart from the visit with her at Wynn, and she says she isn't positive, but thinks it has to do with the calls made. She doesn't know who made the call or why they would be in the records. He ends his questioning. Okay. And give me one moment. I need to go shut my window because it is getting a little chilly in here. I'll be right back. Okay. Oh my gosh, now I have a chill. Holy moly. It's supposed to get down to 27 degrees tonight. 27 degrees. Okay. All right. So now, let me scroll up. Okay. So witness inmate Michael Peacock is cross-examined by the defense lawyers. Michael Peacock, who was an inmate with Brooks at Mohawk, is now questioned by the defense lawyers. Peacock has been in state prison for 5 years. Oh, wait a minute. What happened to the prosecution asking him? Oh, here it is. Oops, I went right over it. Okay, so prosecution. So inmate Michael Peacock is now questioned by the prosecution. They ask him to explain to the jury what the living quarters look like for an inmate at Mohawk. He explains that, and he also explains what a typical day looks like at the Mohawk facility and how the schedule works in there as well in terms of meals, showering, outside time, etc. The lawyer asks him about December 8th, 2024. Did you encounter Brooks at any point? He says yes. The lawyer asked to describe what he looked like. He says he wanted to keep to himself, seemed like he had the flu or a cold. He saw him in his cubicle. He says he was a smaller guy and noticed his eye was bruised. Their conversation included Michael assisting him with his cubicle locker. He says he threw up in his cubicle on the floor. He says 3 other inmates were bothered by the puke and ended up hitting Brooks. Now they moved on to the morning of December 9th. They ask him how Brooks seems to him, and he says he puked again in his cube. Says the inmates approached him again, this time with a black sock and a lock inside of it, and began to hit Brooks with it and his fists. He says Brooks didn't try to fight back, and he got away on his hands and knees. He was yelling, "Help me, please help me," and that is when the officers came in. No further questions from the prosecution. Okay, so December 9th is when he was transferred to Marcy as well. Why was he puking, I wonder? Okay, so now we get to the defense lawyers cross-examining Michael Peacock. Kingsley's lawyer asks him how many times the inmate struck Brooks inside his cube. He says once or twice until he hit the ground. He was then picked up by an inmate. Then Brooks ran to an area to be heard and the assault stopped. Michael says he thinks that these inmates were in a gang. The lawyer asks, how many times did the inmates hit Brooks with the locks in the sock? He says twice, Then they punched him several times afterward. There was no kicking. Brooks was mostly just assaulted in the face. He says in the cube he was only hit in the face, not any other part of his body. This is referring to the assault before arriving at Marcy. This lawyer ended their questioning. Gallagher's lawyer now takes the stand to question Michael. He asks him if he saw blood on Brooks during the assault by the inmates, and he says no. He then reiterates that both beatings from the inmates stemmed from Brooks not cleaning up his puke from both instances, the one at night of December 8th and the one in the morning of December 9th. Michael reiterates again that after the second beatdown, he didn't stay at Mohawk, he was moved. This lawyer ends their questioning. Kiefer's lawyer takes the podium to question Michael. Ask Michael again where Michael was struck during the inmate assaults on December 8th. Okay, so I think it was supposed to be where Robert was struck during the inmate's assaults. And he says just his face, and on December 9th, also just his face. The lawyer asks if at any point did Mr. Brooks get knocked out. Michael replies no. He ends his questioning with Michael. Team Britt says, you have no idea the day I've had, but sometimes you just have to laugh about it. Hope everyone is good. My day started off terrible today. I locked myself out of the house, going to work. No fun. And I got to work and I said, man, I should have just stayed home today. But it got much better as the day went on. So hopefully your day gets better too. Okay, so next witness is nurse practitioner Asma Muhammad at Mohawk Correctional Facility is questioned by the prosecution. They ask her about her interaction with Brooks. She says he was complaining of nose pain. It was slightly swollen, and he had a tiny little cut on his nose. She says he was alert, oriented, and cooperative. He never raised concerns for her with his behavior or mental health. She explained she performed x-rays as a precaution, and she said she raised no reason for concern after seeing the x-rays. The prosecution ends its questioning. So, nurse practitioner Asma Muhammad is now questioned by the defense lawyers. Kingsley's lawyer starts their cross-examination. They ask her about her treatment of Brooks at Mohawk after the inmate assault. They ask her if she remembers what Brooke told her happened, and she does not recall. She says no blood was coming out of Brooks's nose. The lawyer asks, how did he talk to you? She says he spoke clearly, alert, and oriented. He said he was injured, but she does not recall what he said specifically happened to cause the injury. Kingsley's lawyer ends their questioning. Gallagher's lawyer now steps up to question Muhammad. They ask her if she knew of all the facts that happened to Brooks prior to coming to see her, if it would change her diagnosis of a nose fracture, and she says no multiple times. Gallagher's lawyer ends their questioning. Kiefer's lawyer asks her if she is involved with paperwork work, and she says no. Now the trial break for lunch until around 1 p.m. So why would he ask about paperwork work? Like what? So clearly, Mr. Brooks is not severely injured. Like he had a small cut, he had swelling, he was coherent, he was able, he was alert. Okay, next. Ryan Cornish is a senior investigator for OSI, and he is questioned by the prosecution. He was involved with investigating the case of Robert Brooks' death. They ask him questions about what cameras they investigated after Brooks' death. They then show him the body cameras that were used as evidence, and they ask him to confirm that they haven't been tampered with since the investigator saw them initially during the investigation, and he says no, they haven't been tampered with, which shows the jury the cameras haven't been manipulated for this trial. A witness looks at one of the body cameras, number 170, and he confirms it was also on the sign-out sheet for Gallagher during his shift. The prosecution ends its questioning. Ryan Cornish, the senior investigator for OSI, is now cross-examined by the defense lawyers. Kingsley's lawyer asked Cornish questions first about common practice with a body camera. Gallagher's lawyer doesn't have any questions. Kiefer's lawyer asks how the cameras are used on or off. He says they should be turned on and the camera should be lit green and activated, which means it was in recall mode. The lawyer asks if it is sometimes the cameras... The lawyer asks if it is sometimes the cameras are handed to the officer as off by accident, and he said it could happen. The defense ends its questioning. Okay. Next is Assistant Commissioner of Technology Sean Mousseau is questioned by the prosecution. They ask him about his job description and responsibilities. They then ask him about December 12th, 2024. Mousseau says he was given a phone call from his supervisor that there was an incident at Marcy Correctional Facility. He said there may be videos on the body cameras that they weren't able to pull video from and asks Sean to help locate these videos. He was ultimately able to obtain video from those cameras. During Mousseau's investigation, he requested for more cameras after viewing the video on the initial camera sent to him to investigate. Mousseau also clarifies that every video they obtained has no alterations that have been made or tampered with. The prosecution ends its questioning. So I'm thinking tomorrow is when the jury is going to see the body cam footage. Oh. Okay, so Assistant Commissioner of Technology Sean Mousseau is now cross-examined by the defense lawyers. Sean says during this cross-examination time, there was a period at the beginning of the video that was cut out of camera 12. That video has a significant portion of the beginning recorded in someone's jacket. The prosecution comes back up. They then show the clip in the courtroom. The video of Robert Brooks's beating by the former CO officers plays in the courtroom. Oh, so they saw it today. Okay. There was a 5-minute break for the jury, then the trial resumed at 2:50 p.m. They then go through more camera footage from a different camera on the night of Robert Brooks's death. This video ends with the camera lens being blocked out by something. Then they show another video from a third camera. This video clearly shows Brooks being kicked in between the legs while he is being held down by other former officers. While the jury is watching all of these videos, their faces remain stoic. That video ends, and another camera video is shown in the courtroom. This video ends, and the prosecution continues their questioning with Sean. They want Sean to confirm the accuracy of the video evidence, and he confirms. The prosecution ends their questioning. I was wondering how the jury would react. The Assistant Commissioner of Technology, Sean Mousseau, is cross-examined by the defense lawyers. All three defense lawyers each ask him about the accuracy of the videos as well. They ask him about the camera being synchronized and ask him to confirm that if this is true, they would all be recording at the same time, right? He says they will run side by side. They only disappear from being reviewed if the footage has no significance to the incident. For example, walking in the parking lot. The defense lawyers end their questioning. All right. Okay, so proceedings end for day 4 of the trial at 3:53 p.m. The trial is expected to continue tomorrow, October 10th at 10 a.m. So I'm wondering if they're going to see more, if the jury is going to see the videos again. I don't know. I agree, Twist. We do have serious mental health issues. Nanny says, I'm sure my face would tell how I felt about seeing the video. Yeah. And I can't remember, maybe there were only 4 camera videos. I had watched, there was one news clip that I watched today, and I was going to put it in here, but it was the news station put what the prosecution said in their opening statements along with portions of the body cam video. And one thing that stuck out to me was the one defense attorney in their opening had said something about, an officer placed like a white cloth on Robert's mouth, whether it was to wipe up, like I think he said like mucus or whatever. And that was the one part of the video I actually was looking at. And they were shoving that fabric in Robert's mouth to whether suffocate him, whatever. I mean, the fact that these defense attorneys are trying to soften what these officers did is astounding. Like, I don't understand how they can even begin to do that. Hey, Sunnyside, thanks for being here. I need to go use the restroom real quick, so I will be right back. Actually, I'm going to put my, you know what? It'll be quick. I'll be right back. Alrighty. Sorry about that. Okay. So what we are going to do next is to learn a little bit about one of the young girls who was killed when her and a friend were subway surfing in New York City and ended up hitting a steel beam, and both were discovered unconscious on top of the subway car around 3 a.m. and were both declared deceased. And it's interesting hearing, I did watch some of the interview with the one girl's mom, and this girl, it wasn't the first time she did something to seek thrills. And for only being 12 and 13 years old. I mean, they were, that's why I said in my live stream, brave or stupid. I don't know. I think it was the adrenaline rush. They liked, yes, Sunnyside. They were 12 and 13 years old. All right.
The NYPD stepping up to deter subway surfing. Earlier today, a police drone successfully saving 2 young people attempting to take part in this dangerous act.
All right, just this weekend, 2 girls were found dead in a suspected case of subway surfing gone wrong. Fox 5's Arthur Chien spoke with the mother of one of the young victims. Arthur.
Steve, Natasha, the Williamsburg Bridge is one of the more iconic parts of New York City, and it drew the fascination of a 12-year-old girl on more than one occasion. But this Saturday, that fascination turned deadly for her, and the first inkling her family had that something was wrong was recognizing on the news her skateboard and purse. Natalia Rudenko was making breakfast Saturday morning at home with the news on, covering the death of 2 subway surfers. It took a while before she realized it might be her daughter, who was, as she describes her, fearless.
She don't care. She never gets scared. Like me. We go on an American roller coaster. She said, Zemfira, I'm not going, I'm too old. She said, listen, if you not go, you pussy kids.
She would learn it was Zemfira, her 12-year-old daughter. She and a
beautiful girl, too.
A 13-year-old girl met on social media, and according to Natalia, they set out for a late-night adventure. Their bodies would end up being found on top of a subway car that pulled into the Marcy Avenue subway stop in Williamsburg early Saturday morning. She had snuck out of her parents' home in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. Zemfira's mother says her daughter had a
So it's interesting. I thought the girls had been friends, school friends. But according to her mom, her daughter met this other girl on social media, and they decided to go subway surfing together.
A wide range of social media accounts.
I never see her accounts, but I know she was on the top of the bridges, on the top of the roofs.
While the city struggles with an ongoing problem of social media glorification of subway surfing, Zemfira's family suddenly finds itself having to make funeral arrangements for their once vibrant daughter. The latest casualty for a deadly urban fad officials have been trying to attack, yet more than a dozen have died in recent years, despite the best efforts of officials to rein it in.
It doesn't get any more tragic than this. Young teenage girls, it doesn't get any more tragic than this.
Fresh off this gruesome outcome, on Monday, the NYPD's drones helped intercept these 2 riding outside a train. The NYPD tells us they've intercepted over 130 kids so far this year, the youngest being just 9 years old, essentially saving them from themselves and from the dark side of what is being referred to as urban exploring.
We know that the people of Subway Surf, they meet on social media, they get together, and it's not just subway surfing. They're going into the tunnels. They're going to the layup locations. They're trying to get on the trains. They're stealing keys. They're stealing MTA radios. They're trying to move the trains into layup locations.
Now a GoFundMe account has been set up for Zemfira's family as they are figuring out how to pay for her funeral expenses. They tell us now that her funeral is set to take place this Saturday, and while they're making plans for her funeral, they are canceling plans that they were making for her birthday, which was to take place next Friday. That's the latest from Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Arthur Chien, Fox 5 News. Steve, Natasha, back to you guys.
So sad.
So that would mean tomorrow. Maybe, let's see, because this was only a couple of days ago. So next Friday would be the 17th. Ugh, how terrible. And they said they have a GoFundMe. Let me see if I can find that. Here it is. Zemfira Mukhtarov. My God, she was so freaking cute. Okay. So let me drop this in the Sunnyside says, what is wrong is parents today, late at night, alone at 12. They said she snuck out. Yeah. I don't know if they knew she had snuck out, though, until... I mean, the way her mom spoke, it was when she saw the news that she thought maybe it could be her daughter. I don't know. There's a lot of kids who are alone. Parents are working, and sadly, they're by themselves. So let's see. With heavy hearts, we are reaching out for support after the tragic loss of my beloved daughter, Zemfira, who passed away in a devastating accident at a subway station. She was 12, and she had to have her 13. Oh, she was going to be 13 in just 2 weeks, full of life, and taken from us far too soon in a heartbreaking incident that we believe was a subway surfing accident. No parent should ever have to face the pain of losing a child, and no child should lose their life in such a tragic way. We are struggling to process this immense grief, and we are turning to our community for help to give Zemfira the respectful and loving farewell she deserves. We are raising funds to cover the cost of her funeral and memorial services, as this unexpected tragedy has left us financially unprepared. Any contribution, no matter how small, will help us honor Zemfira's memory and lay her to rest with the dignity she deserves. If you're unable to donate, please share this fundraiser or keep us in your thoughts and prayers. Thank you for your kindness, support, and love during this incredibly difficult time. Ruslan. So that they had on the news, that one. Oh, she had a little sister. So cute. And then they have this YouTube link. Let's see what... Oh, it's the news story. Okay, so they probably included the YouTube link so that people know that they're not, making things up. Which is sad that they would even have to do, but people like to scam. So this next video that I have is also about Zemfira, and this is they speak to her sister. Yeah, Team Brit. It's pretty amazing what people do.
Zemfira Mukhtarov was just 12 years old. Her friend was just 13. Both were found dead at a subway station in Brooklyn. The tragedy, a grim reminder of the danger of this dangerous stunt, largely fueled by videos posted on social media.
5 people have died this year compared to 6 last year, according to the NYPD. And police have made more than 100 arrests this year. In fact, just this morning, police during video spotted 2 boys on top of a train in Queens.
Eyewitness News reporter Kimberly Richardson spoke exclusively with the family of one of the 2 girls who were killed. Kim joins us live in Williamsburg with their story. Kimberly.
Mike and Sade, Zemfira was supposed to turn 13 years old October 17th, but instead died here. Police say subway surfing with a friend. Her family is devastated, making arrangements way too soon. With her parents' permission, I spoke with Zemfira's little sister, who assured me everything will be okay.
She was just always there for me. Like, she was everything for me.
A little girl facing the biggest loss of her life, 11-year-old Miriam Mukhtar.
11 years old. And I mean, I would assume she's still in shock. I mean, she's so composed, but...
tells me her 12-year-old sister, Zemfira, was her best friend.
We'd explore all NYC.
But when her mom saw this video on TV Saturday, her heart sank. With her parents' permission, Miriam spoke with me.
And I was like, look, that's her skateboard and that's her coach bag. And I'm like, that's her.
The soon-to-be 13-year-old had been killed subway.
Can you imagine? You're watching the news and this little girl says to her mom, look at that skateboard. That's hers. That's her coach bag. And that's how you find out that your daughter possibly, I mean, in this case, it was involved in this.
Surfing in Brooklyn on a J train. It was 3 a.m. at the Marcy Avenue subway station. The 8th grader was with another girl, a 13-year-old, whom Miriam says her sister recently met on social media. Friday night, the sisters were together at their home in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn.
She didn't talk to me because she got mad at me, so she kind of ignored me that night, which is kind of sad.
She says Zemfira snuck out of the house while the family was sleeping.
I feel like it's God's plan to like take her. Like, what if he needs her really badly?
Miriam tells me her sister didn't talk much about
this is like, this guy jumping, like, what in the world? I don't get it, but I guess, you know, people who are looking for that adrenaline rush or just to try it out, I guess.
Subway surfing, insisting she would never do it. Her message to other young people?
I'm like, don't do it, because like, it's just not worth it.
A little girl trying to cope with such a tremendous loss.
My mom, she has this lady, and she was talking to my sister like through the spirit box.
Oh boy.
And she's been sending a lot of messages to me like, don't miss me, like, don't cry. I hate to see you cry, so like, everything's okay, I'm happy. I'll come back soon.
Rise beyond her years. The family has started a GoFundMe to help with this sudden loss. And Zemfira's father saying no child should lose their life in such a tragic way.
I agree.
Live in Williamsburg, Kimberly Richardson, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
I agree. No child should have to lose their life so tragically, and it makes you wonder, like, if she hadn't snuck out at night, if she had done it during the day when it was daylight, would they have seen those steel beams? One will never know. But to sneak out at night to do it, like, that's, to me, that's even more scary. But I guess, you know, you do it under the wall of darkness and hope that no one sees you. Super sad. Okay, so changing gears. This is a story local to me. And I saw this yesterday, and then I saw another clip today. This woman was murdered 61 years ago. And through DNA, they have been able to solve her case. DNA is doing extraordinary things.
Turning now to this case, a gruesome case that has stymied police and haunted a family in the Albany area for more than 6 decades.
Today, Albany police announced they have solved the 1964 murder of Catherine Blackburn. Ann Levy joins us live from Albany Rural Cemetery, where authorities just recently dug up the final.
So she was, if I can see this, I think it looks like that was 1914.
Pieces of evidence that
She was
enabled
only
them to
about
solve this cold
50.
case. Dan, good evening to you.
Good evening, Mark. Good evening, Sabrina. Yeah, it was just a couple of weeks ago when authorities came here to the Albany Rural Cemetery to exhume the body of a man who died 27 years ago. But it was because of what they found inside that gravesite that enabled them to finally track down a killer.
And I'm guessing their investigation led them to, I'm sure they're going to answer this question, but I'm wondering, like, how did they know? What information did they get for them to go to that man's grave, exhume him, in order to get DNA?
In September 1964, when Albany detectives discovered the mutilated body of Catherine Blackburn inside her Colony Street home, they knew right away they'd be searching for a sadistic, murderous sex maniac. What they probably didn't know at the time was that it would take 61 years to find him.
I'm proud to say that we have positively identified the perpetrator of this horrific offense.
Albany Police Chief Brendan Cox says the perpetrator, through DNA analysis, has been positively identified as Joseph Nowakowski, a career criminal who spent much of his adult life in and out of prison.
61 years ago, evil entered my aunt's house and changed our lives forever.
6 decades ago, it was Sandra Carmichael who discovered her aunt's body.
Oh,
But fast forward to
God.
2018, Sandra asked College of St. Rose students to apply their skills in the...
So that woman, I would say she's probably, she looked around 70-ish. She could be older, but I would say, you know, she was a young kid when she found her aunt. And I really think I'm going to look into this a little more if there's more information about Sandra, because, I mean, 61 years.
emerging field of genealogical technology.
The resolution of the Catherine Blackburn case is an exceptional example of years of multidisciplinary teamwork, demonstrating that no victim is forgotten.
It was the DNA match discovered by Dr. Lane's students that convinced authorities to exhume the body of Joseph Nowakowski.
We obtained a DNA sample directly from...
Okay, so she was 50. Actually, she was 49. She would have been 50. Or no, she died in September, so she was 50.
Our suspect, and we were able to compare that with positive results to the DNA that was collected from the crime scene in 1964.
Do you believe in miracles? Prayers are so powerful.
As we go forward, today is a model for what we might be able to do in the future to help victims to solve old cases and to get stuff done.
Authorities believe the victim and the killer did not know one another. They were total strangers, but now they're both buried here at Albany Rural Cemetery, sharing this place for eternity. Live in Albany with coverage you can trust. Dan Levy, News Channel 13. Mark, Sabrina, back to you.
Dan, thank you very much.
All right, and I wanted to see if I could find the news conference. It could just be that it wasn't televised. Let's see. Let me go here and see if they have it on their YouTube channel. They do not. So I'm guessing they were just at the press conference and did that. But I will try to see if I can find it. Because I really want to look into her case. So interesting. And I wonder what this guy, I think they said his name was Joseph Nowakowski. I wasn't sure how to spell it. I wonder what his crimes were. If any of them were as horrible as this one. Actually, let me Google his name. Oh, I was right. Oh, it was Nowakowski. So I put an L in there when, let's see, Joseph Nowakowski. I'd like to know more about him. All right, let's see. Let me take that down for now. So this is from the Daily Voice. I would assume he wasn't in R, because this article deems him a sadistic sex maniac. Oh my God. I'm not showing the article because I had a feeling it was gonna be graphic. I will share it in the chat if anyone wants to read it, but they go into detail as to what happened to Catherine, and I'm not going to say it here. Like this guy, like, he is sadistic. He was a sick mother effer. Okay, so it says Blackburn, a supervisor at Mohawk Brush Company on Fuller Road, had recently begun advertising for a tenant for her upstairs apartment. Police believe she showed the rental to someone the same day she was killed. So I wonder if police thought maybe that this Joseph was the one she showed the apartment to. And thank you so much, Nanny, for the, I think they're just super chats. You did not have to do that, but I do appreciate it. And yes, one more to meet goal, but the goal is just for fun. I don't expect anyone to send me money, but I do appreciate it. And so do the cats, the Fosters. I do miss having kittens here. And then I think about how much work they are. And I'm like, oh, I'll just wait a little bit longer. Maybe closer to Christmas, because we have 2 full weeks off for Christmas break this year. It's going to be amazing. Okay, let me get back to this article quick. For decades, the case remained unsolved, but on Wednesday, October 8th, Albany Police Chief Brendan Cox said advances in DNA technology and forensic genealogy identified the killer as Joseph Stanley Nowakowski. He was 33 at the time of the murder. Born in 1931, he died in 1998. Blackburn and Nowakowski did not know each other. At the time of the killing, Nowakowski already had a local criminal record dating back to the 1950s for burglaries. In 1973, he was sentenced to prison for violently assaulting a woman in Schenectady. He was released in 1980 and largely stayed out of police records until his death. Aw, thanks, Sunnyside, for the kitties. I appreciate that. Oh my gosh, and the goal, it does like little confettis on my phone screen. That's so cool. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I do. And so do they. They do need, I may actually use some for treats, but they need a new, oh my God, what are they called? Like a cat tree for the window. They have torn it up, like digging. And so I have this one, it's like window height. And so they sit on there and look out the window, but it's getting a little bit destroyed. So I may use some of those funds for treats, and then the rest of it to get them a new cat tree, and then they fight over it because, there's only one higher level, and it's like, okay, so now maybe if I get 2, they'll stop fighting. Or not fighting, but you know what I mean. Getting annoyed with each other. So I'm curious, now that they have his DNA linked to Catherine's case, I would assume they put his DNA into the system, because I feel like based on what he did to this woman, there's no way in hell that he did not do something like this before. I mean, granted, he did violently assault a woman. They're not giving many details in this article. I would assume he was sentenced in 1973. So he spent 7 years in prison for assault. And then he did this. The renewed investigation began in 2018 when then Detective Melissa Morey revisited the case alongside criminologist Dr. Christina Lane, founder of the Cold Case Analysis Center at the College of St. Rose. They re-examined crime scene evidence. Oh, what is happening? Oh my gosh, is my computer acting up? Hold on a second. Something's not right here. Oh, good Lord. I think I might have to... Can you guys still hear me? Okay, my computer. Oh my gosh, what is happening? It's back. It's back. I don't know what happened, but okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, so they re-examined crime scene evidence, including a bloody sheet and a handkerchief that contained traces of semen. DNA testing led investigators to possible familial matches, and Nowakowski's body was later exhumed to confirm the identification. We were able to compare that with positive results from the DNA that was collected at the crime scene in 1964. Albany County DA Lee Kinlan credited Chief Deputy District Attorney Jessica Blaine Lewis with overseeing the case and said solving it was one of his priorities when taking office. Blackburn's relatives attended Wednesday's announcement. Her niece, Sandy Carmichael, now 81. Okay, so I was very off. I thought her niece was 70-ish. She was 81, which means she was 19 or 20 when she found her aunt's body that day. And that is something that no one should have had to see. I mean, I don't even know. We prayed for this day. To all who made this possible, God bless you. So there we have it. So, according to this, he had only been charged with burglaries and then a violent assault. But I find it hard to believe that what he did to Catherine was the first time he ever did something like that. Sunnyside says, I seen on TikTok that cats love cement pavers. Cement pavers? I don't think I've ever heard that. I'm going to Google it. Cement pavers and cats. Okay. That is true. So it says concrete pavers can be provided for cats for enrichment, offering a unique texture for scratching, rubbing, and rolling. Cats are drawn to the firm, rough surface and the warmth of sun-heated slabs, which can serve as a substitute for outdoor spaces. However, ensure the pavers are free of harmful chemicals and monitor them for extreme heat to prevent paw burns. Why cats are attracted to concrete. The coarse, rough texture of concrete is satisfying for cats to scratch and condition their claws on. So why am I buying these cardboard cat scratchers that only last like not even a month? I need to get some concrete. That's what I need. Cats have scent glands on their faces and bodies, and rubbing on concrete helps them mark their territory by leaving their pheromones on the surface. Concrete can also retain and radiate heat from the sun, providing a warm spot for cats to lounge and warm themselves, which is especially appealing in air-conditioned homes. Conversely, a cool concrete slab can be refreshing for cats, particularly those with a thick fur, acting as a way to cool down. The slabs can bring a piece of the outdoors inside, potentially reminding cats of their outdoor days or providing a familiar surface. This video shows a cat reacting to a concrete slab. Okay, well, let's go to YouTube and take a look. Oh my gosh, look at this poor cat. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. Let's take a look at this quick, and then we'll get to the last few stories that I have for us. Okay, so this poor cat is hanging upside down, and okay.
Apparently, there's a trend where people are buying concrete slabs for their cats. So naturally, I went to Home Depot and bought 3. Jojo here loves to sneak outside to roll around on raw floor. So for her safety and my sanity, we're bringing the Crete to her. Be warned, if you try this at home, concrete is incredibly dangerous for cats. If they enjoy it too much, they might pursue a career in construction and start renovating your home without your consent. Of course, Nanaki started off by licking them. I'm not really sure where concrete...
Okay, I might, you know what? I probably have a concrete slab in my basement. I might have to do an experiment. Sunnyside says, get one and see if they like it. If not, no big loss. I think they're like $5. Yeah, and cat scratchers, those things, they can go upwards of $20 to $30. I mean, I get the refills, but even the refills are like $5. So if I can get concrete and that lasts longer than a month, it's worth it. Hey, Woman's Warrior. So going back to Mr. Nowakowski, I don't believe that it's his only victim because I would imagine that he would have worked up to something horrific. Plus, DNA and technology limited back then, so could be many. I agree. I mean, what he did to that woman was just, I don't know. I just don't think it was the first time he did something like that. An assault, viciously assaulting someone. I mean, I guess that could have been, but it was pretty terrifying what he did.
Concrete slabs are supposed to go in a home, so we're just going to stick them in the corner for now. JoJo inspected her beautiful new slabs. Of course, she's disgusting and only likes rolling on dirty concrete, but she gave it a couple good rolls, but mostly just angrily claimed it as her new bed. All in all,
she angrily claimed it as her new bed. So does that mean the orange kitty didn't get to try out the concrete because she was like, this is mine, all mine?
Oh, I'd say it's a good purchase. If you need a $6 industrial grade cat bed, this might be the move. But now my living room looks like a job site. You're welcome. Follow me if you like cats, I guess. Apparently there's a...
Oh my gosh, that is so... I thank you for bringing that up because this is a great segue because the last two stories I have for us are about animals. Women's Warrior says, I have scratch posts. It's like a pole wrapped with rough, thick, strong rope. They last years for my two cats. I do have some with the rope, but they dig it and it's probably cheap though. I probably should make my own. But the rope just like unravels and they dig it up and I actually had someone make me a huge scratch pad. So they took old cardboard boxes, cut them into like planks, I guess, and then glued them together to make this huge cat scratcher. I still have it. And it's lasted, I mean, gosh, it's probably been 10 years now. I need to just either do that again or I'm going to try the concrete. I am going to try the concrete. We'll see. I can make it, maybe I can make it like, put some concrete and then like a plant or something so it looks a little bit prettier. And speaking of, I just looked at my outside camera. Daddy Cat is sitting on my retaining wall, which is made out of, well, actually that's out of rock. And then there's some concrete next to it. So that's interesting. And that would make sense why, like, you see cats always like lounging or, rolling around outside because they, especially with gravel, it probably feels nice on them. Okay, old carpet pieces can work. That is, concrete sounds longer lasting. Absolutely. I'm going to, you know what? Let's see. Let's just Google cats and concrete because I have a little bit of time and the last two things aren't going to take too long. Cats and concrete blocks. Stop. Look at all of these. Oh my gosh. Okay, so buying a concrete slab for our cat. Dumbest idea yet? ? Look at this one. Let's see what this one does.
Kurt loves rolling around on the concrete outside, so I'm bringing the concrete to him.
Okay. He was like, oh my gosh, look at that. Okay, that kitty needs another slab. Okay, he probably, well, I mean, I would only buy one too because you don't know how they're going to like it. But this cat needs at least one more because he's going to end up rolling over. Oh my gosh, that is so cool.
Yes. Your own personal concrete. You liking it?
I might need to get a few more for him so he has more space, but this was working out perfectly. He was loving it.
When the sun shines on this tomorrow, you're gonna love it even more.
Oh my gosh, how cute is that? Thank you, Sunnyside. I wouldn't either, Women's Warrior. Like, this is like, oh my God. Okay, let's look at this one. This guy bought different types of concrete, apparently.
I went to Home Depot to get the concrete slab for my cat to try, but when I was there, I got a little idea. The regular concrete might not be their favorite, so I got a red brick one and a terracotta one.
Okay, so let's take a vote. Is the cat gonna like the terracotta, the, I guess, normal, or the brick concrete? Or are they going to try out all three? I mean, this guy, he got 3 to try. Hey, Froggy, how are you?
Let's see what they like. Pretty Princess PP came out first and inspected the terracotta slab and then checked out the regular concrete. Harley decided to come out and wait in line to do her inspection on the terracotta one. No one really gave any love to the red brick. Overall, terracotta gets first place with a close second to the regular concrete. I went to Home Depot to get...
Okay, so he said terracotta, but nobody went to the terracotta. But that one, you could see, went from the brick to the regular, and the regular started rubbing against it right away. All right. Okay, let's just watch one more. Let's see. Oh, let's look at this one.
My indoor cats, Melon and Finn, love to roll around on the concrete. And of course, the trendiest new cat toy is a slab of concrete. So you know we had to go pick up one.
The trendiest new cat toy. A slab of concrete. I might even have some concrete. I used to, when I was in college, I would raise my dorm bed on those concrete blocks. I probably still have them somewhere. Then, because cats like to be high, if I got one of those concrete blocks, they could have concrete and be off the ground a little bit.
For each of them. So we headed off to the store to find the infamous this one being an 18-inch by 18-inch square, and the other one being a 12-inch by 24-inch slab.
Oh, so they're trying out different shapes. So he's trying the rectangular versus the square. I would probably go with the square because it's, it's got more surface area. But I don't know. Let's see.
We also picked up some of these felt furniture pads to prevent scratches on this vinyl hardwood-like floor in our apartment.
Holy schmoly!
After packing everything up, we made our way home to surprise the cats. Melon was so excited to see what we brought home. First things first, we put down the furniture pads for each slab.
Okay.
Then I...
Did y'all see that cat? Oh my gosh. Cats are so funny. The cat's like, forget the concrete. What is this? What is this small circle that I can barely fit on? I'm going to sit on that. Cats are meant to be scared of cucumber. Mine aren't. Are yours? I haven't even tried that. I haven't tried it. Yeah, I'll have to do a short. I could even try it with my foster kitties first because they have a lot of toys in there, but it's, a little more compact. Yeah, that's like little, like kids being happy with just a wooden spoon and pot over expensive toys. Exactly. This is so funny when this cat goes and sits down on the...
First, we put down the furniture pads for each slab.
Look.
What you doing? What you doing?
Then I placed each slab down very carefully. And now it's time to release the beast.
Aww, they're
Before I
so
even had a chance to
sweet.
set up the next shot, Finn was already sniffing the slabs. He sniffed each corner before coming over and giving a big stretch. And then walked away. Time to bring out the big guns with this cat.
Okay, so they just walked away initially. But now he's got the cat crack. He's got the cat crack. That should work. That should work.
Crack catnip. And then I sprinkled a pinch onto each slab. And of course, Melon was all over it. However, She thought it was a scratch pad at first, since that's normally where I sprinkle the catnip for her. So she tried to sharpen her nails and realized that it really wasn't a scratch pad. Then Finn came over excited to get some kitty nip, but Melon can be up.
That Finn kitty actually almost looks like my little dino kitty Foster that I had. The way that he has the two little black patches on his head
Bit
reminds me of
territorial
Dino
over her
Kitty.
catnip, so Finn made sure to keep his distance.
My name is Richard and I'm sitting in the corner.
Oh boy.
And after getting a good smelling, Melon gave a nice
Aww.
big plop onto the concrete.
Okay, so the
I was pretty
rectangle
excited
one.
to see her flop around like the other cats I've seen on TikTok, but I think she was more interested in the catnip than the concrete. She was really feeling the catnip. Then she hopped off the slab and started to rub her face on it. I was so hyped until, yeah, she drooled all over the longer slab.
Ew. Oh my god, this is so funny.
Once Melon finished her bender,
He's gonna get a
Finn
like.
decided
This
to
is
give the
funny.
concrete another shot. However, he just seemed to be more interested in the catnip. I really thought he started to like it until he gave the paw shake of disapproval. Oh man. Overall, I think this was a success.
Aw, he's so cute. So this actually, let me go to this channel. So this is Melon and Finn. They have their own YouTube channel. So I'm going to share their link in chat. Go give them a like. Or I'm going to subscribe because that was really funny. Just the commentary was super funny. Melon and Finn. 24,000 subscribers. I'm doing something wrong here. Look at them. They're so cute. All right. Well, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole just yet. But speaking of, actually, I'm going to do these two stories backwards. So speaking of Lowe's or Home Depot, there was a cat named Francine who was the local Lowe's cat. She lived in Lowe's. She was, known to be there, and she went missing. And I think that was, I'm trying to think when I saw the initial story. I feel like it was a couple of weeks ago. But she has been found. She has been found. So we're going to take a look at her. And then the last story I have is about a dog that did a really good deed.
All right, folks, Francine has been found.
We can celebrate. A missing cat from Richmond, Virginia that went missing last month was found early this morning in North Carolina at Lowe's warehouse where she was last spotted. Now she's heading home. We first told you about Francine last week when a group of people started searching.
Aw, she's so sweet. Look at her. A little calico.
For her. Francine has lived at a Lowe's home improvement store in Richmond for years now, was believed to have hopped on a distribution truck that ended up in Garysburg, North Carolina.
Oh my gosh. She was like, I'm hitting the road, Jack. I'm hopping on a truck and I'm taking off.
$1,000 reward was offered for Francine's safe return, and animal groups worked with Lowe's to use heat-seeking drones and surveillance cameras to spot her. Finally, around 1 o'clock this morning, the beloved cat was captured. And
okay, so let's look at, I want to see how far. What did they say? What was that other town they said? Shoot, no, I don't remember. Garysburg. All right, so about an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half. Okay. Not too bad.
the cat was captured and soon sent back on her way to Richmond.
It's been really inspiring to see how many people care about Francine and we're really invested in this journey of hers. So we're really excited to be able to give people the good news that we were all hoping for.
Francine is spending a few days at the vet to make sure that she's okay, healthy, ready to go back to her home at Lowe's. And people who help search for her are hosting a Francine Fest. Getting the whole festival in Richmond this weekend to celebrate the cat's return and to raise money for local animal groups. So Francine's little disappearing act is going to benefit a lot more animals.
Francine's going to get a key to the city, I think.
Maybe
It's a
Francine
big
will
deal.
finally be the mayor.
Yeah.
That is so cute, that story. So Francine, and I mean, thank goodness the people, that they found her, oh boy, what a kitty. And what a place to live. Lowe's, like, you have shelves, you have those really high, it's big. You just have the full run of the place. I mean, why would she probably was just like, let me go see what's going on, somewhere else. Yeah, curious. I'm gonna try to. I don't know about a kitten channel. I did have a foster page, but unfortunately I had to kind of dismantle that. But I could just do videos even on this channel. I mean, I have put a few of them on here, and I know, I watch the kitten channels all the time. Just watching cameras of kittens doing kitten things, which is mostly sleeping. Grandma Sherry says, I saw this on MSM News or Muse. Oh, the Eagle Cam. I love the Eagle Cams, Raccoon Saloon. They have the owl cams, there's owl cams, wildlife cams. Like, yeah. So cool. Yeah, kitten shorts, which I have to get back into doing my shorts. I haven't been doing them very much, and I really need to get back into that. All right, so the last story I have is about a dog that led deputies to an injured grandma. It wasn't even her dog, I don't believe. And this dog knew she was in danger and went to get help. This is the dash cam, I believe. I thought it was like a new story, but it's the actual dash cam of the dog getting the deputy and then going to help the injured woman.
She just takes that dog, but she never takes more than 10 or 15 minutes. It's almost an hour now. It's over an hour now.
Okay, do you know what breed the dog is?
The dog's just he's just a 100-pound dog.
Oh, so maybe it was her dog. I thought they said it wasn't her dog. I must have misheard. So this man is saying that she took the dog and she's been gone for more than an hour.
Okay. There's the dog. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Where's your mama? Hi. Hi, where's your mama? Where's your mommy? Hold on. Hold on, where's your mama? Tell me where mama is. Show me. Ma'am? I've got you, ma'am. 322, I've located her. Oh, hey, man, can you tell me what happened? Oh, can you tell me what happened? Are you okay? Oh, 322 SO, can you have EMS en route to the golf course? She's laying here on the sidewalk, alert and conscious, but she may have injured herself.
Where were you when found you?
I was in front of that house right there. And then the dog ran up to me. I was right out here.
And the dog brought you over?
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't leave. He kept coming back to me.
Mm-hmm. He ran up to my car and I said, bring me to your mommy, and he ran back here. He come up to your car. Good boy. Sweetheart. Good boy. Very good boy. I'm not even his owner. I'm his grandmother.
Okay, so that's where I was mistaken. So it's not her dog. She's the dog's grandmom. She's the dog's grandmother. Okay.
Oh, you're such a good boy. You're so good.
You're so cute.
You're so good. Oh, Eeyore, you're a good boy.
And his name is Eeyore. Get out. Eeyore. Come on.
Grandma loves you. Good boy, Eeyore.
Oh my gosh, how sweet is that? Let me see if I can find an update on this. So let's see. Dog Eeyore. Actually, I'm going to put Eeyore, the dog, saves grandma. Oh, there we go. It came right up. All right. So this is from People Magazine. Hero dog named Eeyore leads deputy to injured woman who fell during walk. Grandma loves you. The 86-year-old woman, I didn't realize she was that elderly, was out walking her son's dog when she fell, according to authorities. Okay, so it was probably her son who said she took the dog out and hasn't been back for an hour. Because, I mean, if she's 86, he would be probably in his 60s or so. An elderly woman found herself injured after taking a tumble while walking her son's dog, but luckily her four-legged friend helped save the day. The Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office said the incident occurred around 10:30 p.m. local time on Thursday, September 25th, according to the Bradenton Herald. The 86-year-old woman fell while walking her son's dog Eeyore in the area of Destin, Florida, officials shared in a post on Facebook. After she didn't return home, authorities said her, quote, distraught husband called for help, quote, concerned about his missing wife. Okay, so that was her husband. See, I should have read the article first. She never takes more than 10 or 15 minutes. It's almost an hour now, he told Deputy Devin Miller in body camera footage that was shared by the OCSO. After getting a brief description of the dog, the deputy returned to her vehicle, and it wasn't long until she spotted the pup while driving down the road. Hi, baby, where's your mama? The deputy exclaimed as she pulled over and hopped out of her car to pat the panting dog. But Eeyore wasted no time, quickly leading the deputy across the property to where the injured woman lay on a sidewalk near a golf course. After spotting her, the deputy started to run. I've got you, ma'am. The officer then asked the woman to explain what happened as the dog panted and paced nearby. According to Deputy Miller, the woman was alert and conscious upon her arrival. She called for assistance before telling the woman how the dog came to her rescue in the video. I was in front of that house right there, and then the dog ran up to me. The woman seemed stunned. And the dog brought you? She asked, later confirming she wasn't the canine's that she was the canine's grandmother. He wouldn't leave. He kept coming back to me. Both the injured woman and the deputy praised the dog as they waited for more help to arrive. Good boy, the officer said again and again. The woman then chimed in with, oh, Eeyore, you're such a good boy, and Grandma loves you, as the dog continued to pant and pace between the two. Officials said paramedics eventually transported the woman to a medical facility for evaluation, according to the Herald. It is unclear what injuries the woman sustained. There we go. So, I mean, thankfully, puppy dog was able to, be in that spot where the deputy saw him and was able to get her because... And so that happened quite some time, about 2 weeks ago. And I saw it yesterday. So let's see, here's one from 2 hours ago. Let me see if this article says anything new in it. I think it probably says the same thing as, that one's actually even shorter than the other one. All right, so hopefully the woman is doing well, and Eeyore got a couple more treats. All right, so that is all I have got for us today. I think tomorrow I'm going to go live on Beneath the Headstones to just kind of talk about whatever. There's not much drama happening, like, with me. I know there's a lot going on, but honestly, I don't really care. I don't really care about it. I think it's I don't even know the word. Ridiculous. I don't know. Yeah, I agree, Nanny. Nothing like a feel-good story. So if you have anything that's not true crime related that you'd want to talk about, feel free to email me at headstonesandheadlines@gmail.com. I did, for those of you who came in a little late, I did put a poll on my community page, whether you'd want to watch the trial of, what was her name? Bianca Nellis. I think it was Bianca Ellis, who I had covered this story some time ago. I'll have to find the original live stream I did and then share it on my community page. This woman had gone on a knife attack in a grocery store parking lot where she stabbed this toddler, and the toddler sadly did not survive. So her trial just started. So be sure to vote on that poll. And if you've made it this far on the replay, #replay, leave a comment below. And until next time, y'all, I will see you on the flip side.
You have one shot on stage, what you got to play? Generic drops for days, still the people rage. Am I not insane? Can you stop and explain why these drops are so lame? Is money buying you fame? I'm fucking on, I'm killing it with this song. You haters can sing along or go back where you belong. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with giving up, moving on. Cause I took your girl to prom, she can't help but sing this song. Comes off till the lights go out, till my legs give out. Can't shut my mouth till the smoke clears out. And my high progress, I'ma rip this shit till my bones collapse. Till the roof comes off, till the lights go out, till my legs give out. Can't shut my mouth till the smoke clears out. And my high progress, I'ma rip this shit till my bones collapse. She's so on like a light switch, flirting back. There's nothing wrong with the way that she's working that. I just want that body bad, come on baby, bring it back. I'm so gone, faded off a 30 rack. She's so on like a light switch, flirting back. There's nothing wrong with the way that she's working that. I just want that body bad, come on baby, bring it back. I rap with a passion, yeah, I got it in me. I've been waiting quite a long time for y'all to hear me. It's about damn time you put some stock into me. You're either sponsoring me or fucking bothering me. And the fact is, we just practice on this madness. That is why your status is like a canvas. Chances our advancement is enhancing, and this new expansion's like a mansion. Comes off till the lights go out, till my legs give out. Can't shut my mouth till the smoke clears out. And my high progress, I'ma rip this shit till my bones collapse. Till the roof comes off, till the lights go out, till my legs give out. Can't shut my mouth till the smoke clears out. And my high progress, I'ma rip this shit till my bones collapse.